All right, y'all, check me out. You can see I am starting the buffing and waxing process. I got this polisher off the marketplace with a couple of pads and stuff, everything that I needed really. And I was able to get this for 60 bucks, which is great because it was brand new in the box. You guys know me, I love my marketplace deals. So anyways, I'm dealing with the rain again today, but I've been out here for like the last 2 hours, I'd say. And you can see here, this section, and I got the whole front clip done. So all this is done and waxed. And you can see here, I've got wax on the door that's curing right now, and I'm getting ready to buff all that off. But you can see how clean this came out. I mean, look at that paint, guys. So I just hit it with some of this stuff right here with the polishing pad, and then I also have a wax applicating pad, and then I also have the fleece bonnet to buff off the wax. So the polish has been great. This thing has been awesome. And you can see that this is the main reason I wanted to do it, right? From removing all that pinstripe. And now look, boom, completely clean. Looks really good. And believe it or not, guys, this is my first time buffing and waxing anything to this degree. So, I watched a ton of videos on it before I did it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's common sense. And it really got rid of all those degreaser marks. You guys remember when I cleaned the engine bay, there was all kinds of cloudiness and streaks and everything from the degreaser. So all that's gone. And then also from when I painted the bottom strip here, you can see down through here, there's a little bit of overspray. And there used to be some here, and obviously it's all gone now. So that stuff is great, man. Mirror finish. And it's super cool. So I'm super stoked about it. It took me a little while just because I was trying to figure out my pattern and my pressure and all that stuff, but I've got it figured out so far. And the hood kit, I feel like the hood I probably could have treated a couple more times, but I'm not sure either because the windshield has all kinds of sandblast in it because, you know, the old couple pulled this behind their RV. So essentially the whole front of this truck has been sandblasted over time. And I think that's why the fenders are a lot cleaner than the hood. And you can see there's all kinds of little pock marks in it, just like in the glass here. So you can really see it when you're looking out of the glass. It just looks kind of sandy, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. It really came out nice. And I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this little section, and then either later on today or tomorrow we'll come out here and finish the bed and do that door and the roof. So this shifter here, I noticed it's a little iffy. Sometimes it's hard to find the gears. I thought I just had to learn it, even though I've had a few of these, but I kind of had a feeling something was off a little bit. So anyways, I got this shifter rebuild kit right here off Amazon. I think it was like 35, 40 bucks. And this is supposed to cure the issue here. The clutch is great. I have great clutch engagement and all that stuff, but it's just having a hard time finding gears only sometimes. And so there's two things that you can do. You can either do the shifter rebuild kit, or you can change the transmission fluid, or you can do both. Obviously, I'm gonna do both. So, but the first thing I'm gonna do, since I just got it from Amazon, is I'm just gonna throw this in there and see if it makes a difference. And then next time we throw up the truck on a jack stand, we will change out the transmission fluid, which will probably be tomorrow, honestly. But for right now, let's just change this and see if it makes a difference, because I have some errands to run today. So it would be a perfect time to see if it actually works out. All right, I got the shifter boot off over there. And you can see this is the new plate right here. And we're just gonna buzz these guys out of here. Pull that up out of there. Okay. To the side, so you can already see our gasket is completely destroyed. It's got pieces of it stuck on here. And this one has a new one glued on it. Oh yeah, I can see this one's already bent. Oh no, it's supposed to be, okay. So we got that one. Oh yeah, well this is already dry rotted. Okay, so that was down there like that. I'm just stacking these over to the side the same way I'm pulling them out. Okay, so this was like that. Okay, transmission fluid looks somewhat decently clean. And then there's another one in there. Let me see about the directions to get that one out. All right, I just had to use a hammer and a flat head to just knock out the pins. It comes with new pins. It also comes with directions that I had to use to get that. But now that I got the pins out, looks like I can pull out our last seal. Excuse me. And look at that, guys. Look how it's just broken. And it's all dry rotted and worn out. It's got gashes in it and whatnot. So even if it doesn't solve our issue, it is going to be a whole lot better to have that out of there. So let me clean this gasket up, wipe all this out real quick, and we'll start to put the new one in. I go where the dowels go, the little pins, and kind of line that up. It's hard to do it one-handed here, but there we go. And then you see here we got our two pins. They're gonna go in like this. Like that. And then I'll use my hammer and I'll lock those in real quick. All right, and then you gotta make sure you remember the orientation with this, and then it goes right into the grooves there. Gotta have to find where it was sitting happy at. Nice, and I wiped that all off too to make sure it was nice and clean. Okay, and then we're going with another one of these. Let's see. That. And then this one is supposed to go on top. Time for our new cover here. Just like that. Yeah. And I'll torque that down. And just like that, I'll put the cover back on and take it for a test drive and see how it goes. So one thing that we need to do on this little truck is we need to A, get an alignment, and B, we need to detail the interior, and C, obviously finish up the buffing and the polishing on the bed itself. But everything else came out great, still looks good. So now, since the truck, I believe, had been flooded in the past, I see there's like some water lines here. You guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. And, you know, this thing sat over there next to the ocean. It was literally at a house on stilts and on the water with the dock. So this thing definitely has seen a few hurricane floods. And you can see that the water line came up about here. It doesn't even go up to the back up there. And you can kind of see some surface rust. And oh yeah, especially up here too, you can see. So all this basically sat in a saltwater brine at some point, maybe a couple of points in its life. So what I'm gonna do now is, the seats and everything all look great. This all looks good. The back panel looks great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the seats out of here and pull the carpet out. I got some rain that's rolling in on me now, so I'm hoping I can get this pulled out and soaked with some degreaser, maybe scrubbed up with the drill brush, and then just hang it on the fence and let it just get rained on. But it's also small enough, I think I can put it in my washing machine too after I get all the big heavy stuff. So let's jump on it and get this thing pulled out of here. Set this in the garage real quick. Okay, now that that's done, we've got everything loose. I've got the shop vac, and we're gonna go ahead and vacuum up all this crap while it's still in here. And when I pull it out, we'll vacuum and degrease the whole floor and everything as well too. But while it's here like this, I'm gonna knock all this heavy stuff off, and then we can go ahead and jump on the scrubbing part. I had to take that shifter out of the way as well too. All right, I think I can get the carpet out now. All right, believe it or not, I have seen worse carpet, that's for sure. At least this one is all intact. There's no tears or cuts. There's like no glue or anything stuck in the fibers. All the fibers are still really fluffy and everything. So actually I did see two tears here in this one section. You know, it is covered by the plastic strip a little bit, and I can probably super glue this together so you don't really see it. All right, guys, check me out. So I've got some purple degreaser. You can see the bottle hanging over there. And what I do is I dump a good amount of dish soap in there as well, only when there's a lot of like coffee stains or whatever the case is. Then I have my good old faithful Walmart cord drill right here. This thing goes at pretty high RPMs, which is what you want for something like this. And I bought one of these brush sets off of Amazon, and I think this is the biggest one that I have in there. But these things work great. They get a whole lot of this stuff off of here, and we'll see how good it comes out. You can see I just did a little test section just to see, and I was letting my phone cool off. So let's go ahead and jump on it and see. I've got it completely soaked. I've got the bottle over there in case I need to get it wet a little bit more as we go. I might just end up using water because I did put a good amount on there. So let's just see how it goes. Alrighty, as you guys can see, we got it done, and you saw that I flipped it over. I was rinsing it all really well. That way it was dripping mostly clean. I mean, for a long time it was just dripping sand and red dye and all that. So it's coming out a lot, like very, very clear for now. And then on the inside here, I just took some degreaser and I sprayed it all around and just kind of wiped everything down. That way the floor is nice and clean. And what I'm getting ready to do now is just wait for this to dry a little bit. Then I'm going to take it inside and throw it in my washing machine, since I got all the heavy stuff off and I rinsed it real well, got all the soap out. It's essentially like a big heavy quilt at this point. And if it wasn't such a small vehicle, I wouldn't put it in my own washer, but it's really not that big. And I have a decent sized washer that can handle it. So I'm going to put it in there with a bunch of scent crystals and everything and see how it turns out. So you guys can see I've had this thing out here drying ever since about yesterday evening. And I just went to the auto parts store and I picked up 3 cans of this stuff. I didn't know exactly how much I would need. I've used it before, and sometimes it covers well, sometimes it doesn't. So I got this one. They have 2 different shades of khaki, and this was the one that I found 3 cans of. Everything else, or the other places I went to, only had 1 can of the dark. So this is what we're gonna use. I did a little test section here just for shits and gigs, and you can see it came out pretty decent. You know, it's not horrible. It definitely is going to change the color, that's for sure. That's what I wanted. This was literally 6 or 7 passes. There's a bunch of paint in here, so I think we're going to have plenty to do and plenty to be able to do it. I mean, and you guys can really see all the fadedness from the sun and everything. And you know, you guys remember in the floor pans here and on this side, I had huge rust stains or whatever they were. And you can see I was able to get those out for the most part, but man, you can really see the outline and what the carpet used to look like. And I mean, that's what I thought I was gonna get, but you can see it's a little more orange looking, but that's okay. I'm not really worried about it. It actually matches the interior tan plastic and everything much better being this color. So alrighty, this is the stuff right here. This is the brighter of the two tan colors. And let's go ahead and get it knocked out. Bam, just like that. So I've done the entire carpet, and I've gone through 2 cans, but trust me, I have been really thorough with it. All the heavy spots, I went and I did those first, as well as all the cutouts. Went around and did all those first, and then I went back and did everything. You can see that this is the color of the dye. So it made that look really bright for some reason, but that's gonna be covered up with a floor mat anyways. So man, this looks all one color now, right? Which is great. And just like I said about matching the interior, you guys can see here. I mean, it'll be good enough. You can even see this is kind of like started to turn pink a little bit from the sun. You can kind of see some coloration here. So anyways, now that the truck has been tinted, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So got the entire thing done. Got the other side, and then remember, I have 1 more can of paint left. So I think I'm going to use up that 1 more can, and I'm going to put that all over this visible section that you see. Anything that you actually see, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with another coat just because I have it. There's no sense of returning it, and maybe it'll even it out a little bit. I feel like I can see some of my streaks. So I'm just going to kind of stand back further this time and just go a little bit slower with my passes, and hopefully we get it all filled in. And here you guys can see this is the final product. It looks all one even color in person. I guess I'm starting to see a little bit of patchiness on camera, maybe not, but either way, it's gonna look really good when it's inside the truck because it's all dark in there. So this is the final product, and I'm getting ready to put it back in, and then I will show you guys what it looks like all set and done. Check me out, check me out. This is I just got it set back in here, so you can see the paint made it a little bit different, but this has also been faded from the sun too, so it's a little on the pinkish side. But overall, I mean, it looks really good, you know, compared to what it was with all the stains and everything. And once the seat's in here, you won't even see the back. So this all came out, the trans tunnel and everything, it all came out very, very nice. So I'm just kind of smoothing it out right now, and then I'm going to go ahead and put everything back in. Bam, check it out, guys, all done. Everything is nice and fresh. Look at that carpet. Back here as well, everything is fresh. It looks so good now. I'm glad I didn't really have to clean the seats. They were already clean. Come on this side here, and look at that, nice and clean. You can see the carpet there is nice and clean. This thing still looks abnormally bright, but we'll cover that up with a floor mat. I actually have a couple over in the garage. And yeah, it's looking really good. Only thing I have to do is detail the dash. I'm gonna take out the instrument cluster and get all of that stuff that's in there. You see all that stuff? I'm gonna make sure I get all that stuff out of there. So this is pretty much the last section, just this little bit right here. And it is looking really good. Super fresh now. I'm loving that. That carpet paint really came out really nice. Smells really good in here, really fresh. All that sun damage is gone now. And it looks like a brand new truck. Cannot beat that. I was able to get the underglow lights installed. There's a strip that goes from this line up to this line. You can kind of see it. And a smaller one on the front, smaller one on the back, same thing on the other side. It was a little 4-pack. I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks. I originally had some rock lights, but it wasn't enough to light it up consistently. So you can kind of see down in there how it wraps around a little bit. So you can see right there on the ground, nice and purple. Has a little controller. You can turn them on and off from outside the truck and stuff, which is nice. And they don't stay on all the time, which is nice too. Man, you can really tell a difference between this part of the truck and this part of the truck, because I haven't buffed it and waxed it yet. It's just been raining too much. Look how clean and clear that is compared to that. It's wild. And we got the inside looking good. You guys can hear it, it's running perfect. Look at this. Nice and clean in here now, man. I tell you what, that carpet is like brand new. I was a little upset about the color at first, but now that I'm looking at it, I mean, I'm telling you, it's great. You don't even know. These are just the floor mats that came with the truck. It's all right. They're just some generic ones. There's a little controller. And yeah, I got this thing here, which plugs in and you can have Bluetooth with the radio, which is nice. Because I was gonna change out the stock radio, but there's no need to for this thing. This thing was like 10 bucks. Check it out, y'all. It looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty even. I think that's pretty sick. Looks really good all the way around.
Schoolyards here, but that's not the game.
All right, so my phone is overheating trying to film the time lapse of this, but I got 30 seconds and that's all I got out of the footage from doing this back section right here. But you guys can see where it's all cloudy and foggy, and now it's nice and glossy and black. Looks really good. There's no wax on there yet. That's just a nice cut and buff with this thing right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it up. There's no need to film the time lapse. You guys already know what it is with buff and wax. So I'm just gonna go ahead and knock it out. And then when I'm done, what we'll do is we'll come around and we'll do some paint correction on little stuff like this. And by paint correction, I just mean add paint to it. Alrighty, y'all. So I started off with the blue pad. This is what I used on the truck earlier, like the last time I did this. And this one is just kind of falling apart. You can see it's kind of cracking and it's dirty. It's done now. And honestly, that's the one. So there's a couple of different steps. You see I have the yellow one on there now. You can kind of see. So I think it's yellow, blue, red. I don't know, but either way, so I've got the yellow one on there, which cuts a lot more and it's making it go by a lot faster. I even went back and did this section here because there was some swirls and stuff from the eraser wheel that I just couldn't get with the blue pad. So the yellow pad definitely got it. It looks so good now. I also did the bottom part that I painted a while ago. And so I just went ahead and did that as well too, cleaned it up. Even this little top up here actually came out very clean. And like I said, I've got some paint for all that. And I just got done doing this side. You guys can see it looks really, really good. And now, because I've been using that yellow pad, you can actually see from where I used the blue pad, you can actually still see some lines. So not a big deal, not a huge deal. We'll go ahead and do that next time we want to detail the truck. But for now, I'm getting ready to put wax on it. All right, guys, don't mind the fan blowing some cool air on me, but this is the wax that I'm going to be using. I've got a couple of different kinds of wax, but this one works very well with this process. You know, any wax is going to be fine, obviously, but whenever you get done waxing, or anytime you get done buffing your vehicle, it's very crucial to put some type of you know, coating on there, whether it's ceramic or it's wax. So we'll go ahead and you guys can see how dirty that yellow wheel got. So just center up the pad on there. And we'll go ahead and give this a nice shake. So I know with the buffing compound, on the videos that I was watching and stuff, it said to put a little bit of water on there just to kind of give it a little bit of lubrication. I do not think you need to do that with the wax. And the wax, you put it on real slow. I put it on like number 2. It's really, really slow. Versus when you're cutting, you want it to be real high. All right, we're gonna let it dry to a haze, which I think is usually about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at the most. And that'll be perfect time for me to do the tailgate and the other side. So let's go ahead and get it knocked out. All right, y'all, check it out. It's completely done now. Looks really good. I'm getting ready to wash the front half of the truck because it's still nasty from getting rained on. But man, look at that. Even the bottom part that I did, where I painted it, really shined it up a lot too. But you guys can see my full reflection in there. Like I said, this is dirty, but that is done. So I feel like the bed looks a little bit better than the cab and stuff, just because I was using that yellow sponge, that yellow pad. But man, this thing came out great. Super clean all the way around. Super glossy. I mean, look at that paint, guys. Super glossy all through here. Really glossy. Super nice. And then wrapped around here, you can see that line is completely gone. You can barely see the word Ford right there. Very barely. But man, so glossy. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and wash it up and then we'll go take it for a ride. Alrighty, got the truck all cleaned up, looking real nice. Now, what I'm getting ready to do is we loaded up the electric bikes. You guys can see here, looks pretty sick. It actually reminds me of my old dirt biking days when I actually had a 4-wheel drive 4-liter Ranger and had the dirt bikes in the back. Is super sick, so it looks super cool. So there's a big long paved pathway for bicycles and runners and stuff. It's called the Pinellas Trail. And that's usually where we go ride. And then we also take these we ride them out to the beach. And I got a little bike trailer that I load full of our beach stuff, and I pull it with my little bike here. You can see the little attachment there. And it pulls it great, 20 miles an hour. We scoot out to the beach, and we also ride around downtown and stuff. So super nice, man. I love these things. They're great. And I just wish they would go a little bit faster sometimes, but that's me. You know, my lady, she likes to go nice and slow and cruise and just take her time, which is nothing wrong with that either. So, but man, this thing is looking great. So you guys can see all the lights now, and got the little controller here, so we can change colors. Anything that we want to do. You guys know the deal with these things. I like the green and the purple. The purple goes hard too. Well, it looks really good. It's running really good. You guys can hear it. LEDs are super bright. Looks really good. Sounds really good. And I tell you, the way that paint just beads up the water now is so nice. With that fresh buff and wax on there, it looks so good. That's gonna wrap it up for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I've really enjoyed building this little Ranger. It's been super fun. In the next video, I promise I'm gonna do an actual breakdown of everything that I spent on it, how much it costs and everything. I know I said I was gonna do that in this video, and that was my intention, but by the time I got done editing and everything, I already had about 30 minutes worth of video for you guys. So I figured I would post it. and then I'll post the price breakdown here probably next week, and be a little bit quicker instead of 2 or 3 weeks in between videos. So I've been doing a lot of traveling and stuff like that, and now that the summer is over, I'll be back home more and be able to make more consistent videos. So anyways, make sure you hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. If you guys have any comments or any questions or anything like that, put them down in the comments. And if you guys like anything in the videos that you saw, make sure you check the comments, because I put the links to everything that I use. So thanks so much, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.